their investigation whenever there's a suspicious transactions on personality, whether it's high ranking or whether anybody, for as long as that number covers or that number determines a certain suspicious transaction, AMLA would really dig into the matter. Tama pa po yun?
Tama po.
Ang aking analysis. Okay,
Babase
so,
lang po kami sa evidence po at
okay,
saka kung
based
ano
on
yung
the
nasa
evidence,
records.
tama.
Opo.
So, Madam Chair, finally, for my last question, no, kung wala po kayong nakitang anomalya o red flag sa inyong opisina, wala po sana kayo dito, no? Tama po, as you have indicated earlier. Ang inyong pagpunta po dito at pagsumite ng mga dokumento ay patunay na may red flag indicators. Would that be correct?
Meron pong mga
Red flag indicators.
STR, CTR.
And the documents that were subpoenaed by this committee ay meron pong mga red flag indicators. As you have explained earlier, no? Na yung transaction is very suspicious, no? Yun nga, would you confirm also that these red flag indicators covers now the respondents that we are being that is now being heard by this committee?
Tama po.
Tama. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other member who wish to
Madam
raise
Chair.
clarificatory questions?
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Suntay and then the Honorable Marcoleta.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through the AMLA. May I know what are the instances when the AMLC can provide or inquire into bank deposits? What are the instances?
I think they do not inquire. Reports are being
Because under
submitted to
Republic
them.
Act, Madam Chair, under Republic Act number 9160, the Anti-Money Laundering Council has significant authority under the Anti-Money Laundering Act. Now, there are two instances when they can inquire into bank deposits. One is with court order, and the second without court order. So with court order, when can this be done? Now, with court order, when the AMLC can inquire into deposits if there is probable cause.
May
that
I
the funds are
confirm
related to
from
unlawful
AMLA first
activity.
if the subpoenaed documents are consequences of your bank inquiry or these were received by way of reporting of the banks or other financial companies in relation to the implementation of AMLA?
Madam Chair, I confirm that these documents are based on the CTRs and STRs, and these are the subject of the subpoena that we have submitted.
These are generated because of the reports
Yes, Madam Chair.
submitted by the banks.
Yes, Madam Chair.
And bank inquiry, which is being contemplated by the Honorable Suntay, is different from the reports which are being submitted.
That is correct, Madam Chair.
So, Honorable Suntay, if this has reference to the subject matter of the impeachment, I hope we can confine our questions to what appears in the subpoenaed documents.
Yes, Madam Chair. This is related to what has been subpoenaed because what has been subpoenaed would be presented by.
Yes, but these
the
are
AMLA.
not these
That's
are
why
not consequences
I'm
of
inquiring,
bank
Madam
inquiry.
Chair. I'm inquiring when they could submit such things, such documents.
Let me just
But in what
clarify,
instances?
Honorable Suntay, for the guidance of the justice members, the subpoenaed documents are generated from the reports of the banks. These are not consequences of the bank inquiry conducted by the AMLC. That is for the record.
And to Madam Chair.
Yes,
just-
Madam Chair, but the bank records, if you see that, if you read the complaints, both complaints which was filed, it did not specifically state what was in the bank. In fact, in the bank account, there were
As
no
a matter of fact,
specificity.
Honorable
So,
Suntay, the subject matter of the subpoena are not bank records. This is AMLC report. Please make a distinction between the two.
yes, Madam Chair, but what will AMLC report on? Wouldn't it be what is contained in the bank accounts?
Can you just describe based on what has been reported by the bank? Because I understand that with or without order, the banks voluntarily report to you
That is correct, Madam Chair.
if there are covered and suspicious
yes.
transactions. So
Madam-
just limit your answer to what is contained in your report.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Sige, can you go on?
Madam, sir, Mr.
Can you restate
repeat
your question?
Now, we have called AMLC to, because we would like to inquire what the banks has
These are
reported to
covered
them.
transactions and
The
suspicious
covered
transactions as
suspicious
described earlier.
transactions. So, to determine what is a suspicious transaction, who determines it? AMLA or the bank?
The banks.
The bank. And they submit accounts.
That is
What
voluntary
is contained
submission.
in the accounts. Is that correct?
Reports of the transactions, not necessarily just the account. So sometimes there is no account yet, but they do submit if there is anything anomalous with the transaction. So it doesn't necessarily involve an account.
Okay.
But it may
So
involve an
when
account.
is an account considered anomalous?
Wait, account is not a subject matter of the subpoena. The subject matter of the subpoena are covered transaction and suspicious
Okay.
transaction.
Then when
Honorable
is a
Suntay, please be
transaction
reminded to
considered
limit your
Madam Chair,
questions to the
yes.
subject matter of the
when is a
subpoena.
transaction considered anomalous?
Suspicious.
Please use the term covered or suspicious. Because that is
Covered
the
or
subject
suspicious?
matter of our
Okay,
subpoena.
madam. Covered or suspicious?
Under Section 3 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act, there is a definition of what constitutes suspicious transactions. Number one is if there is no underlying legal or trade obligation. Number two is if there is no economic, the client is not properly identified. Number three is if the amount involved is not commensurate to the business or the financial capacity of the client. And the next would be taking into account all the circumstances. There is a perceived transaction, the perceived transaction of the client is being structured. Number five is if there is an unlawful activity, if the client committed an unlawful activity or is in any way related to money laundering. Number six is if there's a deviation, observed deviation from the acts of the or behavior of the client's profile. And number seven is